I'm Jay Taylor. I'm the editor of Jay Taylor's Gold, Energy and Tech Stocks. I'm also the host of a radio show called Turning Hard Times into Good Times. I'm here at the Metals Investor Forum. It's September 7th, 2019, and I'm really glad to be with Ian Slater. He's the CEO of Libero Copper and Gold Corporation. It's a company that I'm just now learning about. I heard the story briefly with you earlier today. It's certainly one of great interest. I'm more of a gold guy than a copper guy, so I'm glad to know that you have both copper and gold, and certainly in a couple of different projects. Now, your most advanced one, I think, is the one in it's down in Colombia.
Yeah,
Talk to us about that project. That is the name of it escapes me at the moment.
Mocoa, yeah.
Mocoa, the Mocoa property,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
in
thanks
Colombia,
for-
and you
thanks,
have
Jay.
some. It's quite advanced, and that's, I guess you could call it your flagship at this stage.
That's right. Mocoa is, it was discovered in the 70s by the government, funded by the UN. They did a full feasibility study on it in the 1980s, so we know the technical details of it, and we know there's no metallurgical issues, that it's a clean concentrate. It was drilled in about 10 years ago by B2 Gold, and they love the project, but it's a copper moly project in a gold company.
Yeah.
So they had some great intercepts, though. I mean, they had ones of 0.5% copper over 700 meters.
Wow.
And some of the highest moly hits, too, that we've seen in porphyry copper in South America. So it's a great deposit. It's exactly what, when Leo Hathaway and I founded the company, it's exactly what we were looking for. It was a large historical resource in the Americas without a fatal flaw. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what it is. So far, it's 636 million tons of 0.45 copper equivalent with the moly, but it could be much larger than that. We have two areas we're working on right now. One is when we did a conservative pit-constrained resource for that 636 million tons, but most of the high-grade intercepts are right below that pit. So we need to do a bit more drilling, maybe some geotechnical work of making that pit wall a bit steeper, and we can get the high grade right below the pit. Mm-hmm. And the pit right now, it only goes to 200 meters, so there's lots of room to grow it at depth, but we need to do the work. And that would really change the deposit. It would significantly increase the grade.
Sure.
And if we can already at where we are with the grade and size we are, there's not many projects like that in South America for sale. They've almost all been bought by majors. Yeah, we don't want to sell yet. We still want to de-risk it.
You
right?
want to get it
But,
bigger.
Yeah,
get
exactly.
a bigger price for it.
So there's a few things we're doing. One is we need to drill at depth so we can extend that pit at depth and include that high grade. One is like you mentioned earlier is it's open to the east, and if we can continue that, we can expand the pit to the east, and also it outcrops on the ridge there where there's high grade results. So we do need to put
near
some
surface
in that ridge.
other deposits.
Yeah, no, this
same
is
deposit.
This is exactly what we're talking about, extending it to the east. And then we've just discovered another soil anomaly a little bit to the east,
right.
and past that ridge, and it's a higher grade copper and soil anomaly than Mocoa itself, which B2 drilled.
So you're going to drill that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and what's been holding up the drill permits there, because we bought the project a year ago, is in Colombia you have to go through a process to confirm with the government to confirm that your project isn't, the area of influence around your project isn't in indigenous lands.
Right.
So they've just got back to us last week and confirmed that's the case.
Oh, good.
So now we can. It'll be easy for us to drill permit in areas because we're not in the forestry reserve and we're not in indigenous areas. So in Colombia, those are the two big risks for drill permitting, and drill permitting in normal areas is very smooth. We've done it many times on other projects in Colombia because I've actually worked in Colombia for 10 years now.
Oh.
So we know how to work there.
You know the lay of the land, so to speak.
Exactly.
So so the drill program will be aimed at expanding the resource at depth where it seems to be getting richer.
Yeah.
And hopefully to the east, and that would maybe improve your pit design.
Yeah, exactly.
And allow you to go deeper and catch some of that high grade stuff that really looks enticing.
Yeah.
And then the possibility of something else off to the
another soil anomaly.
Another soil
that's
anomaly.
never been drilled.
And so you'll start to drill that too, and if you get some joy there, that's more optimism potentially.
Yeah, it would completely change the deposit.
So,
and the existing deposit is 1.2 kilometers by 1.4 kilometers, and then our deepest drill hole is 1 kilometer of depth. So it is
it's
a
a sizable deposit already of about, I think, 0.45 grams per ton copper equivalent with some moly juicing that up to 0.45.
Yeah.
Pretty good grade, is it, as for this economics of this thing, you think? I know you haven't done the
yeah.
economics yet, but
Well, if you look at the porphyry copper projects sold by juniors to majors in South America over the last decade, it fits right in there, and around that 0.4 copper grade.
Good.
That's what almost all of those projects were.
okay, so this is your most advanced project, and what's your tonnage there about?
636 million tons
So
so
it's
far.
it's a good start, we could say.
Yeah.
All right,
for
so
sure.
that's a copper moly story, and you also have a copper gold target that's very exciting up in BC, and I think in the Golden Triangle.
That's right.
So talk to us about that one.
Well, we acquired this project earlier this year. It came across Leo's desk, my partner, and he had never seen a soil anomaly this good in historical results that it hadn't become a mine. It was that good. I mean, we've staked a huge area now. We call it we inherited the name Big Red. It's obvious once you get there where the name came from. The mountains are all stained red from iron oxide. It's so 25 kilometers long now, 20 meters north-south, 20 kilometers north-south.
Wow.
And lots of targets there. Where our current focus is on two porphyry gold-copper anomalies. One called Ridge and one called Copper Bowl. Ridge is the one that really got our attention in the beginning. When we first bought the project, we went back through. There's been 55 years of work there, of soils work.
Wow.
So we had 35 assessment reports done by different companies at different times, mostly from the 1960s, when they were looking for high-grade copper, actually. So they probably weren't even assaying for gold. But these, you put all of these results on top of each other. It's never been done before, digitized, and it just that ridge target just stood right out. You know, it's over a kilometer long of contoured and half-gram gold. It's if you take the average actually of what's within that contour, it's 1 gram gold.
Wow.
So it's a real target, and we went back there this summer, and we did continuous chip samples over the outcropping rock, and confirmed those soils. So in one outcrop, the largest part of outcropping rock you could see was about 50 meters wide, and we averaged 5 grams over that. So it's very exciting.
Very exciting,
and we can't wait to drill it. We're just waiting for the last approval for the drill permit to get the drills turning, and everything's ready to go. Drillers and geologists and day to day we'll get that. We're hoping to get the permit to get drilling before the weather turns first. So hopefully we can drill there for all of September and October.
Okay.
And then we also have, from those historical results, we contoured at 500 ppm copper, a 3 kilometer long copper anomaly, just 2 kilometers north of Ridge, and we called that Copper Bowl. But then when we went back and did the same continuous chip samples along the whole ridge line, we came back with 250 meters of almost 3 grams gold.
Wow.
In outcropping rocks. So we did that, we were trying to cover a lot of ground this summer, so we did big samples.
Sure.
So now we've gone back and we're taking much smaller samples all along that ridge, and so we can help us identify exactly where we need to drill. But if there's no reason that when we drill into it that it won't be the same that's outcropping. I mean, we don't know how thick it is until we drill, but if it's anything like what we're seeing at surface with 250 meters of 3 grams, it will
very exciting.
Yeah, it'll be really, really exciting. And it's and then within that we had 100 meters of 6 grams. And this is disseminated in porphyry mineralization, probably overprinted with an epithermal system. But it's very exciting. So
you got a couple of really exciting projects, and how's your funding situation to
we did a
do what you need
placement
to do
in the summer. So
Yeah.
we raised $3.7 million. We were $1 million oversubscribed for what we wanted, and so now we're well funded to drill this year, and we'll be well funded until next summer's drill program.
Until next summer's drill program.
Yeah.
So this allows you can drill all year round in Colombia, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're limited, of course, in the north. The
Yeah,
Big Red.
there, it's really June to October kind of time. is
June
when
to
you can work
October.
there.
So fingers crossed you get some assays this year yet.
Yeah.
And then you go to sleep for a while in terms of the.
We should have our drill permits in Colombia by the end of the year.
Okay, and then you'll continuous information flow then in the new year, hopefully.
Yeah.
So those are the drivers, I guess, we have to look forward to. I think what's your market cap now about?
It's only $15 million.
15 million.
So it's still really early days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, so you have one solid project that's very advanced, and you're only 15 million. I think you talked a little bit here. I heard part of your talk the other day that the copper in the ground, the market is pricing it at something like 4/10 of one tenth.
1/10 of a penny
1/10 of a penny
per pound. Yeah.
And historically, at this stage, it might be go more for more like.
Well, when they're sold, those projects typically sell for around 4 cents.
4
a pound.
cents. 4 cents.
Yeah, 4
So it
cents,
seems
40 times more than what
especially in a bull market, it seems kind of hard to see the downside on this stock right now for me.
Yeah, I think it's all Moco is always going to be worth more than 15 million, and we have this gold exploration where we can make a real discovery.
Right. Really exciting. I'm glad I got to meet up with you. Yeah, anything else you'd like to just say to?
No, I think we've really covered it. It's early days. This is the first, this year is the first time or really the last few months is the first time anyone's ever heard of the company, because Leo and I were funding it ourselves and just quietly acquiring assets. So it's very early days for people to get in at only a 15 million market cap. And if we have, going into a bull market in gold, and we might have timed this just right to have a gold discovery in Canada in the beginning of a bull market. It's exciting times.
It could be. It looks very interesting. It's certainly one to take a speculative flyer on, I think, at least. I'm going to be taking a serious look at it when I get back to New York. I'm really glad I got a chance to meet up with you and hear the story. Fantastic. Thank you very much.